Hey, Justin here again for Mystery Tackle Box, and I want to show you some tips on reading electronics and why it's useful for finding fish faster. Your electronics are your eyes beneath the water. If you're fishing from the bank or fishing in a boat that doesn't have electronics, you can still catch fish, but using your electronics is a huge advantage. One of the first things you want to key in on is bait. It's hard to find bait without electronics. They look like little balls of matter on the screen. And when you find those bait fish, even if you're not marking the fish arcs that you typically see and hear about, it still means you're in a good area to get bites for bass. The second thing that's going to help you find fish faster is looking for structure. Now, sometimes structure and cover get confused, but structure are the main things out on the water, like points, creek channel bends, bridge pilings, things like that. And cover is more like your brush piles and more specific types of cover that bass get in. You can find those things with like a Carolina rig or a Texas rig just dragging around, but it may take you a long time. So using your electronics to look at those big pieces of structure will help you get on fish much faster. One of my favorite things to look for structure-wise is points, both pre-spawn and post-spawn. Bass love to get around points, and oftentimes there's cover around those points as well. So I use the electronics to get on the points, idle around, and see what's down there. Am I finding bait? Am I finding cover on that structure? Those are great things to look for. And if I'm on a point and I don't see anything, I know I can just go to the next one and be more likely to find some bass. Now, when I really decide that an area is going to be good is when I'm marking fish. You'll see the arcs on the graph, and they're located either up on top of a feeding flat, or they're in brush or some sort of cover, and there's bait around those fish. Oftentimes you'll see the arcs below the bait fish, and that's when you know you can really catch those fish. When you're seeing arcs just kind of suspended out away from the cover and the structure, those fish are going to be a lot harder to catch. They're oftentimes just roaming around. They're not really feeding. You know they're feeding when you see them close to the bait fish, or they're positioned right on the bottom on different depth changes, or if you're next to a creek channel and there's a flat next to it and the fish are moved up onto that flat. If you're seeing them on that, you know you're good to go. So that's how you find fish faster with your electronics. If you want to see more tips and tricks, subscribe to the Mystery Tackle Box channel and get to fishing.